Hey besties, I just pressed record at 222. This is going to be such a good episode. If you're on YouTube, Mason is being adorable in the background as always. And this is going to be such a fun one for you guys because we're talking about the 7 steps to initiate your glow up. This is going to be like a quick, easy to digest episode that you can just plug into and say, okay, these are the things I'm going to commit to. Nothing too heavy to think about, nothing too big on your mind, just simple steps you can take to rejuvenate your lifestyle, step into your alignment, rejuvenate yourself, and just have a good time in this life. Because if there's one thing I've learned over this past year, the goal is to have a good time during the personal development, during the big milestones, during the big things we're working towards, the big vision for the future. Yes, these are important things. I always say it's important to keep dreaming. It's important to have goals. If we're not pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zones and we're not growing, what's the point of living if you're not growing? But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you're having fun. And I sound like a mom, but it's so true. Because if you're working hard towards a goal and you're hating the journey and you're not having a good time and you're hating yourself on the process instead of falling in love with yourself on the journey, what is the point? What is the point? So this is your reminder that the goal of everything we're doing is to have a good time, to have fun, to love ourselves deeper, and to enjoy life. So this is going to be the 7 steps to your glow up era, and I'm so excited for this episode. It's going to be such a good one. Let's dive in.
Welcome to Perspective with Kaylee Phillips, the safe space to get deep, break through, and find alignment. Here we prioritize wholehearted self-love, passion-driven careers, and living your absolute best life. You're here for a reason, so jump into the good energy, put your rose-colored glasses on, and tune in for massive impact and growth. I'm your host, KP, ready to release perfect and welcome perspective.
This is not sponsored, but this is amazing. This is so good. This Bloom energy drink. I have what is this? What flavor is this? Oh, raspberry lemon. It is so good. And I'm not really an energy drink person. You know, I always have a coffee. I think some of the earliest episodes in this podcast, I say, grab your coffee, grab your journal. And I always say that before like my trainings too for my clients. So I'm definitely a coffee person. But this morning I had such a bad coffee crash. I was like, I think I can't work today. It's 2:22 right now. Wow, guys, I said I started this episode at 2:22. And it's not 2:22 right now because it's been a few minutes. It's 2:26, but my phone is stuck on 2:22. The time is not changing. If I tap it, it's going to change. Yeah, it just changed. Wow. It was stuck on 2:22. That was like making sure I see it, double take, make sure you notice it is 2:22 while you're making this episode. I just love that. I'm excited for this one because it's going to be an easy to digest one, like I said earlier. So I have 7 categories for you for this 7-step plan to enter your glow up. But before we get into the steps, let's just talk about what it means to have a glow up era. What's a glow up? I actually named my first ever coaching program the Glow Up program because it's something I feel energized by and inspired by, and something I think is just like so fun. Like, the power we have to transform our own lives is beautiful. And it's so cool to me that you have the power right now to say, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to glow up my life. So if you imagine glow up, aside from a person, aside from yourself, just imagine a black space, like a black room. It's all dark. No lights are on. And then I tell you, in the center of that room, a glow up happens. What are you imagining? For me, I'm imagining a yellow aura, like a golden yellow aura that starts to expand. It starts as a little spark, like fizzing, and then it starts to expand and it fills the whole room. So I want you to imagine that that's what's happening in your body and in your soul during your glow up era. This spark has been lit right now from you tapping on this episode, from the inspiration and excitement to initiate your glow up era. And now it's just going to keep growing and growing. And every step that you take to pursue this glow up era is going to expand that light even more. And people around you are going to feel that light. People are going to say, you look different. You're glowing. You feel different. You feel happier. You seem happier. You seem great. And people are going to feel that golden energy. And you're going to feel it when you look in the mirror. You're going to feel it when you go to a workout class. You're going to feel it when you walk onto the street to get coffee. You're going to feel it when you fall asleep at night, when you wake up in the morning. You're going to feel that glow. So I just love the concept of a glow up. And I love the concept that it's something you take control over. It's not like 75 Hard where you're trying this other person's plan. We know I talk a lot about 75 Hard. You can download the 5 to Thrive ebook if you want to learn about my opinions on the right way to start a journey like that is following a set of guidelines and all of that. But I'm obsessed with 5 to Thrive, and I talk a lot about 75 Hard and how it's not made for women. But anywho, I digress. I'll link the 5 to Thrive ebook if you want to get it. It's $11. But a glow up is something you create with your own guidelines, your own rules. And that's what I love about what I'm going to share with you today, because I'm not saying this is exactly what you're going to do. First of all, you're going to wake up at 6 a.m. Then you're going to work out twice a day. I'm not giving you those types of things. This isn't like a to-do list. This isn't a checklist. This is an energy that you're going to tap into. And this is an outlet to be creative with my guidelines. So let's get into these 7 categories. We're starting with the 4 elements of alignment: mind, body, spirit, energy. So we're going to do one thing in each of those categories. And then my last 3 categories to round out that 7: past, present, and future. So I'm going to give you examples of all of these things, but if you're taking notes, those are the 7 categories that we're going to tap into in your glow up: mind, body, spirit, energy, past, present, and future self. So first of all, mind. I say the best thing you can do for your mind during this glow up era is clear out the comparison. Comparison is going to stop right now. Open up all those filing cabinets of the comparison to your past self, the comparison to the people that you were going to high school with, the comparison to people in your field, your coworkers, your family members, the expectations you set for yourself, the things you see on Pinterest, the people you see on TikTok. Clear out all of those filing cabinets in your brain. Literally dump them out. Like, that episode of SpongeBob when he forgets everything and he's like, "Where's my name?" You know what I'm talking about? I want you to clear out comparison so deeply and so well that you can't even find it if you go and look for it. If someone says something about comparison, you're like, "What is that? I don't know it. Who's comparison? I don't know her." We need to clear that out, because comparison is the thief of your joy. Comparison is the thief of all of your joy. There is no one to compare yourself to under any circumstances. You are what matters. Focus on yourself during this era. The number one most important thing during a glow up era is that you are focused on yourself. That's how you make a big change, by focusing inward, by looking at yourself. Focusing on you, no one else, no one else. So clear out the comparison and think about what else you want to do for your mind. This is an open book. This is not, strict guidelines. Like I said, you can do whatever you want for yourself during this glow up era. But the first thing is that you want to make sure you're doing something to take care of your mind. Now, I say the best thing you can do is clear out the comparison, work on your comparison tendencies. But feel free to throw in some other things that you're doing for your mind, because there's limitless opportunities of things you can do for your mind to take care of your mindset. The second category, your energy. I say the best thing you can do for your energy happens during the first 10 minutes of your day, because those first 10 minutes set the tone. That's really the time that you are setting the tone for your day, because you haven't seen anyone else. You haven't had any conversations yet. The sun is rising. It's a fresh start. It's literally it's literally a fresh slate, a fresh, clean slate. What are you putting on that slate in the morning? Because whatever it is, that's what's setting the tone for the rest of your day. So if you're starting your day by picking up your phone and scrolling, that's that comparison creeping in, looking at what everyone else is doing. You're already filling your plate with other people's thoughts, other people's things, what other people are doing, who's on vacation, who's doing what. The news. Oh my goodness, it's too much. That's not how you want to start your day. And it really can change your energy, because it leaves you thinking. Even just checking your email. Starting your day with checking your email on your phone in the morning before you've even really gotten your consciousness up and at it officially. You're 50% awake, you grab your phone and start checking your email. You see an email that stresses you out, a little bit of an anxious email, maybe from your boss or from a failed payment or something. Now you're anxious. Your day has started at that tone, at that energy vibration. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Your emails can wait. They're still going to be there in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, it's the same thing as sleeping an extra 10 minutes. It's really not that big of a deal, but you could create so much power and such amazing aligned energy during those 10 minutes by choosing to not touch your phone, by choosing to do some affirmations in the mirror, talk to yourself out loud with positive affirmations, or even just take a cold shower. Even if you do take a morning shower, do it before you check your phone. These can be simple things. It doesn't have to be this huge deep self-care routine, or like you don't have to meditate. You can totally do a meditation session for the first 10 minutes of being awake, but I'm not saying you have to. It can be very, very simple change of just not touching your phone, or I don't know, deleting Gmail before you fall asleep, or your email app, whatever you use, so that you're forced to not check it. Or I've heard a lot of people talk about this actually. I had someone say they loved checking Pinterest in the morning only. This is, I think, for a specific personality type. If Pinterest inspires you, then this could be a really great method for you. She only checked Pinterest in the morning, no other social media, and used it like a vision board. Because, Pinterest can really act as a vision board. If the algorithm starts to pick up on the things you search most often, you can open Pinterest and see dream house, dream outfits, dream aesthetics, dream business ideas. And that's just such a cool way to start your day. And you're like, yes, I'm inspired. Because Pinterest can be very inspiring, right? So you open your phone. If you love to check your phone in the morning, check Pinterest instead. Or something else I find fun that I used to do a lot, I should start doing this again, text yourself. Text yourself before you go to sleep exciting notifications that you would want to see when you wake up. Like, today's going to be an amazing day. I'm so proud of you today. Text yourself those affirmations so that when you open your phone, you open your messages, that's the first thing you see at the top. Just like these little things to start your energy in a positive space for those first 10 minutes of being awake. Same thing with mind. If there's anything else you want to do for your energy, anything else that's coming up, write that down for your glow up season. Now, number 3, your soul. What are you doing for your soul during this season? I'm going to give you my magic quote that I think can really change your perspective on all these things. For your soul, I want you to live as if everything you do is an act of self-care. Everything you do is an act of self-care. Literally everything. Me sitting here right now is an act of self-care. Me going for a walk with my dog, it's an act of self-care. Going to sleep early, self-care. Going to sleep late because I wanted to stay up and watch my favorite show, self-care. Taking a shower, cooking myself a meal. There's the difference between, I have to get dressed, or I get to wear clothes that are comfortable. I have to cook dinner. I get to cook my favorite meal as an act of self-care. I have to drive to work. I get to have 30 minutes alone in the car with myself to think about anything I want, to listen to anything I want for self-care. Everything is self-care. This will literally change the way that your soul feels inside of you. It will literally change the way you walk through life. It will change your instincts of how you speak and how you respond to situations, because you're starting to view everything as self-care. Walking away from a conversation for self-care, or engaging in a conversation for self-care. But everything you do is caring for yourself. And you can ask yourself, is this self-care? If it's not, why am I doing it? And I challenge you to look for it even in the things that you can't stand doing. And if there's something you really can't stand doing in your life, ask yourself that question, why am I doing it? And if you really have to be doing it, then give yourself those limits of, okay, I have to do this for 5 minutes and then I'm giving myself a self-care break. It's really hard. I've had a podcast episode, I think with Mackenzie. We were trying to think of those things that you have to do that you really don't want to do, like pay your bills, But even with that, there's a perspective shift around it. Paying your bills is a gift. It's something to be grateful for because you have bills to pay. You have a water bill because you had hot water to take a shower with before work every day. And what a gift is that? Paying my vet bills. It's a gift. I know it's annoying to actually log on and pay the vet bills, but I have to say this is self-care because I love my pup. And I'm paying for this for my future self to be happy and continue life with this beautiful pup who's sleeping behind me still. He will not go a podcast episode without sleeping behind us. He just wants to be a part of the fun. So everything is self-care. I challenge you to use that perspective and let me know how it goes. Let me know how it feels after a week of doing it. Send me a message on Instagram or text the podcast and let me know how it went. Now, the next one is your body. Movement every day. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Again, you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to go crazy. I'm a yogi, so that's my thing. Yoga every day. It feels so good. It lights my soul on fire. It fuels my mind. It kind of weaves in all those other elements together. But find your thing. Even if your thing is a 5-minute walk, literally a 5-minute walk, something to move your body and energize you. It's so important. It's so important because it makes you feel good. And it's not about an end result of losing weight or anything like that. It's about the present moment, right? Enjoying that present moment. We're going to get into the present self in a moment, but doing something for your body every day. All right, now the past. When we're talking about the past self, this is a space to heal. I think it's very common in a glow up era to think a lot about future goals, future self, highest self in the future. Where am I going to be in 2 months? Where am I going to be in 6 months? And these are important things, but it's also really important to look at the past, to honor your past self, honor the version of yourself that was struggling, and do some shadow work around that. Look at her, send some love to her. I believe that you can send messages to your past self. If we can send messages to our future self and say, dear future self, I'm proud of you, then we can send messages to our past self too. Think of a time that you were struggling and say, it's gonna be okay. Do that for your past self because she needs it. She needs to hear that from you, especially from you now at this place, because there was a time where you used to dream of being wherever you are now. Even if you're not all the way yet, because remember, it's not about the end goal, but there's a version of you that used to dream of having something that you have right now, right? So send a message to her and do some shadow work around that. Do some healing around that. If you want to get deeper into the past self-healing, I do a lot of this in camp. A lot of this goes down in my mindset camp. It's on sale right now, actually. You can join for $22 for, I think it's a 4-month payment plan for $22, or it's $88 if you pay now. You can think of it like, it's a 10-day camp, so it's like $8-ish a day, plus a little more. That's like Starbucks. Starbucks prices keep going up and up. At least here, I feel like it's like $9 if I get a coffee. Anyway, we do a lot of that inner shadow work healing in the camp. But do something for your past self. Honor your past self. Do something your inner child loves, like coloring, or go somewhere that you used to love going as a child. Do the things for your past self. At least like one thing a day for your past self, even if that's just taking literally 10 seconds to say, past self, I'm proud of you. Or if it's a deep shadow work session, or if it's doing a full day of things for your inner child. Something every day for her. Your present self. I was just talking about this, living in the present moment. Through all of these things you're doing, it's like I was saying, it's very easy during a glow up era to just think about the future, think about the end, but this isn't about the end, this is about now. So practice that present moment mindset as much as you possibly can. This is about today. This is about this second. As you're listening to this right now, be here with me. Don't be thinking about what you're going to do next. Don't be thinking about anything else except being right here with me. Even as you're doing your past self work, be in the present moment as you're doing that work. And even as you're doing your future stuff, be in the present moment as you're planning your future. Enjoy the moment because it's not about the end, it's about the journey. And this is like the whole concept of the Perspective podcast and everything I talk about. It's the viral video that you guys all love. The concept of I don't chase, I attract. It's not about running to the end. It's about staying still, trusting the process, and being right here. Because the best place to be is the present moment and allowing the good things to flow through you. Because the more you chase, the more resistance you create. Now, the last thing, the last part of your glow up is your future. Because it is so important to keep visualizing, dreaming, scripting, planning. If we're not dreaming, we're not growing. If we're not pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone, if we're not raising our threshold for discomfort, then we're not growing. It's important to do some scary things. It's important to jump into the unknown. It's important to take risks, to push the boundaries of our comfort zone so that you can grow. So do some planning, do some dreaming. Never stop dreaming of the big things you can achieve. You don't have to believe that they're all going to come true. Everything you dream of doesn't have to come to fruition, but keep dreaming. Don't let yourself become stagnant. Keep imagining what could become of your life, who you could be, what you could do. Do at least, like I said, at least 10 seconds a day of future self, I'm proud of you. Or it can be big scripting sessions. Again, we do a lot of this in the camp too. Lots of future planning and manifesting. It could be a nightly journal session. Something for your future self every day. Keep dreaming, keep growing. I'm proud of you. This is going to be an amazing glow up session for you. Let's say the 7 categories one more time. Mind, body, spirit, energy, past, present, future. I'm so proud of you. Join me in camp. Get the $11 5 to Thrive ebook. I'm also going to link some other amazing resources for you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I start my YTT journey on Wednesday of next week, and I'm going to be doing podcast episodes where I give you updates. I'm going to do like diary entry style updates on how YTT is going, sharing my breakthroughs, sharing my growth, sharing what I learned with you guys. I'm excited to keep you an intimate part of this part of my journey and this chapter of my life. Also, make sure you're subscribed to my email list because I'm going to be doing weekly diary entries over there about the YTT journey. And I also share with my email list every single time a podcast episode drops. So if you want to be first to hear about the new podcast episodes, get that link sent right to you of the YouTube and the podcast version. Make sure you subscribe over there. And thank you all so much for listening. I will link all the helpful things down below in the show notes. Love you all. Have an amazing day. Let me know when you're starting your glow up, what your favorite one is of these 7 different things to do for your glow up season. And I'm so excited to watch you glow. Bye. See you next time.